Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your 2026 New Year preview. We are going to start this reading by looking at these generational planets and events that are going to help shape our world. We're in for a new restart, and also how it's going to affect your life. So we're going to draw a couple of tarot cards for each planet and start to make our story. Now Neptune is moving into Aries January 25th. And Neptune is the planet of sacrifice, the mystical, the spiritual, the intuitive, universal love. So let's see what we can find out. We have I love that, Knight of Cups, talking about love, the world, and the King of Swords. Okay. Okay, so the Knight of Wands coming in is a lovely heart space energy to embrace for sure, because it talks about loving, compassionate energy. It could be romantic. It could be just a connection, a business connection. It can be someone who's already in your world. And I'm going to suggest this has something to do with your family, your domestic life, because Neptune and Saturn, which we're going to get to next, because they're kind of moving in the same space, they're landing in your fourth house, your emotional foundation house, your family, where you live, how you live, who lives with you, all of that. So this Knight of Cups can be someone new coming into that home. There might be some type of family dynamics that is changing for you. It also can mean what I said, a new romantic or love connection coming in. So that's kind of exciting to look at. Now, the World card, we're going to talk about this. This is a self-mastery card, and it happens actually to belong to Saturn. Saturn's job is for us to gain self-mastery in every aspect, in every house. And I think this is what I said is we got a new order coming in. February 20th, Saturn and Neptune will land at the 0 degree of Aries, which is the beginning of our zodiac signs, the beginning of our astrological year. And it hasn't happened in hundreds of years. So it's supposed to be a once in a lifetime impactful change for us all. So when we talk about new beginnings, we're talking about major life changes. We're not going to recognize our old life if we attach ourselves to these energies and move with the loving planets that are coming our way. So the World card represents that. It's signifying that yes, this old way of living is coming to an end and you have much to look forward to. Now, the King of Swords is really a beautiful energy coming in too. It belongs to Uranus because these are swords, these are air signs, and of course Uranus is a big part of our story. And it means information, it means technology, it means how we assimilate information, how we spread it, how we consume it. Whether that is online, whether that's just communicating in our little own bubble, writing, publishing, all of that stuff. So that is coming in for a major change. Again, this is happening in your domestic life. So some things around that domestic life, meaning some communication and how you are setting up your base, your home, how you're going to move through this new world, in this space of yours. Now, Saturn is the planet of truth, planet of karma. It's a reckoning type of planet. That's why they call him the stern disciplinarian taskmaster. And you know that better than anybody because this is your ruler. So you're not afraid of it. You're not afraid of the hard work that's coming your way because you are that. You embody that. So we have the Four of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Hermit. So, okay, we talk about the truth, and we talk about this cup coming to us. Again, it is suggesting some information. It's suggesting that you receive this gift that's coming to you. And you're not having it. You're not trusting it. It doesn't line up with your truth. you're in not a standoff, but you're not in an acceptance body language here. This isn't receiving things with open arms and an open mind and an open spirit. It is the opposite. It's really kind of rejecting what's being offered. And it can mean that you are rejecting someone else's truth, some information, and it's just not sitting well with you. So you are not going to act on it. And you shouldn't. You should only act on the opportunities and information that align with your spirit. So we have the Queen of Cups. Now the Queen of Cups coming in is a very gentle and emotionally intelligent card. I know she's pretty much underestimated, and I think that is your vibe too. People underestimate you, Capricorn, because you're not a limelight seeker. You don't, want to be, leading necessarily in the center line. You want to be part of a movement. You want to be part of a solution, and you want to do your work, but you don't need to take, center stage for all that. So, and you're quiet about it. You don't brag. You're just the salt of the earth, hardworking, reliable, loyal, lovely earth sign that we all count on. And interestingly enough, the Queen of Cups kind of has those energies as well. For sure she does. I know she's a water sign, but she also is a quiet, successful, and there's some integrity that runs deep with the Queen of Cups, but nobody sees it because she doesn't lead with it, just like you don't lead with yours. And I like that because she's underestimated a lot. And one of the funny things is that I point out is that she's holding the biggest trophy in the group of her queens because people underestimate her. And I think that people have been underestimating you, and that's okay. I think you should move with that. It's not your job to change people's mind. That should automatically happen through your actions. But there's a lot of noise, right? There's a lot of noise from Uranus. There's a lot of bold statements coming and people that could undermine your progress. So you just have to navigate around that. You don't have to change your minds, and I don't think you could. So now the Hermit is also a really great partner for you during this time, during these major shifts, because the Hermit suggests that you spend some time in solitude, protect your home. Again, this is in your fourth house of home and family. Protect your peace. Protect your emotions with the Queen of Cups right next to it, right? This is for you to concentrate on what matters most during these transits for you. And when you do that, you just retain your strength. You retain your integrity. You're not going to get in a mix of something that is a lower vibration. So that is good news. Now, Uranus is coming in next. And when we start the new year, we know that Uranus is retrograde in Taurus. And that is in your fifth house of love, romance, children. We're talking about family. And it's going to be moving into your sixth house on April, the end of April. Now that changes things for you, and we're going to find out what those changes are. So there's the children from the fifth house. Here's the house of home that I'm talking about, your energy, the Queen of Pentacles. And here is the Five of Wands. Okay, so we know that the Five of Wands is a little bit of discourse. We're not agreeing, we're not getting along, we're not being cooperative with one another. We're kind of holding our position and just not in a really, kind of battling for higher ground with one another. And you're not going to get involved in this. You have a choice, The choice is either flight or fancy, I'm sorry. It is a flight of fancy, but your choice is to walk away, to not engage. Fight or flight is what I was trying to say. I apologize. And you're not interested in fighting. That's why you're underestimated. People don't realize how strong you are. I think there's more strength in walking away than engaging in this spell, personally. And I think you know that too. And that's how you're going to proceed. Now this is, again, house and home. This is sentimental. This is melancholy. This is something that you want to continue to protect, that we talked about with the Neptune and Saturn power along with Uranus. This is something with children, something with your past, your roots, your emotional foundation. And I like that the Queen of Pentacles came out here to crown this energy, because the Queen of Pentacles, excuse me, is in a very peaceful environment in her home. She's sitting in her garden. She is taking care of the garden and nature, and she's taking care of the home, and she's sitting in a good spot. You're positioning yourself in a better spot. And you see she's holding a pentacle. And of course, Capricorn, you're going to have the finances and the backing of the universe to afford living and creating the life that is aligned to your highest power. And the Queen of Pentacles is abundant. So you have some really good opportunities here to make some major changes. Now, I did talk about, a 14-year transit with Neptune. This is like a 2 to 2.5 year transit with Saturn. And Uranus is good for 7 years, when it transits into your 6th house and your daily routines and how you live your life. So there's going to be a period of a little bit more of money flowing, creating some financial energy to support this life. Now, the North Node and the South Node are currently in Pisces and Virgo, and that is Virgo in the South, which is themed around analytical, organization, practical, not necessarily emotional. And of course, Pisces the opposite, because these work on the axis, and we're looking at the opposite of how we express ourselves, of course, is the mystical, the emotional, universal love. And it's been a pretty calm period with that. So things are going to change though, because the North Node's moving into Aquarius, whose ruler is Uranus. Uranus is a disruptor, a revolutionary is what I wanted to say. He brings in new advances in technology. It's very innovative, but it's a call for freedom. It's a call for liberation. So it's a little bit more action oriented. And so really moving away from the more peaceful, dreamlike state is what I'm trying to say. So for you, when that happens in July, that's going to be in your 2nd house when Aquarius is there, which is, of course, your finances, and then in your 8th house when South Node moves to Leo. And it's about money. It's about money and relationships and money. So let's look to see what your advice is. We have the Knight of Wands, the 8 of Wands. Love that energy coming in. The Lovers. There's that relationship. Okay. 4 of Pentacles. There's the money. 6 of Wands. And the Strength card. Well, this is Leo's card. And so that's very synergistic because the South Node is going to Leo. So we can expect some of these energies. Now, the Strength card represents wisdom and courage and being bold, the attributes that Leo embodies. And when the South Node comes in and say, clear the way, clear everything that doesn't embody these things. And when you do, you will see a clearer path. This is success. This is recognition. So don't stay attached to those things that are in your way, that those things that are holding you back and not letting you move on to that higher path towards your destiny. You have to clear out your debt. You have to, get rid of, not grasping and letting go of some things and getting into the rhythm of what's coming to you, not holding on for dear life for some of the things that don't have any energy left in them. That's the thing. And this is people, places, things. It could be a home. Some of you might be headed for a new home because the 8 of Wands that came out for the North Node indicates a home move. This is the travel card. This is fast-moving energy. Knight of Wands is fast-moving energy. And it's passionate. This is a very good sign, that things are going to turn the corner right in July, when these nodes shifts signs. You can look for more progress during that time. And because this is about your relationships and money, look what's coming in. You're being aligned to a more perfect union, a more perfect relationship and partnership, one of equality, one of peace, one of harmony. Wouldn't that be lovely? Well, that's a lot to look forward to, Capricorn. So what we're going to do is we are going to pull one more oracle, or we're going to pull this oracle card here to take a look at the energy that Pluto is putting out for you for 2026. Now, I didn't put Pluto out here because he's already in Aquarius. It's not a transit at this time. He's been holding space there, but that doesn't mean he's not important. He's going to be with Aquarius for till 2043 or 2045. So that's a long time. It's another generational planet. All right, poised. I like it. You are poised, which means you're poised for success. You're poised for victory. You're poised to align with your destiny and to receive the bounty. I love this for you. Now, if you look back at your finances and you see that there was a period of lack where you weren't operating on a whole level. Pluto in your second house, by the way, wants you to regain your power. And the way to regain your power is to get solvent, to, clear out your debts, literally and figuratively, take care of these things. And I think for some of you, since this is happening in your relationship house of money and connections and just relationships that you were tied to, joint finances, loans, debt, mortgages, whatever that is for you, you have the opportunity to break free from that, to realign things. This is transformative power, Pluto is. And you have the opportunity to take these finances that is where he's setting up shop for you, and rearrange those, transform them, to purge them, to get rid of all of the things that have been holding you back. I hope this resonates. If it has, please like, share, and subscribe. Wishing you all balance, peace, and harmony. Happy New Year.